when it comes to the global playing field, and as a business person, you also understand that partnerships is what makes things even more successful.
Yeah.
So let me do a quick little and send it to the group chat. Like, girls, guess who I
going on?
secured yesterday? Grammy winning Oluwa Burna.
As a gospel artist, you are seen to carry yourself in a certain manner. As you also said, end of the day, you're human. Yeah. Like, if your child is disrespecting you, and if you think about it as well, no one knows how to push your button better than your kids.
Yeah. It makes it so much, a little bit more awkward to deal with it, because I feel like I can never potentially argue with you again, because are you going to put it on social media?
Yeah.
I don't know I feel like when it comes to men, you guys, for that kind of behavior, let's say like whether that's cheating or sleeping around or whatever, like sleeping with fans, you're never affected that much.
No.
Like,
You're listening to Adeshokwe Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another edition of Audiomack Live, the official Afrobeats Podcast. This is where we break down the culture, headlines, and other hot topics around the world. We saw my guests in the studio. Well, you can always subscribe, like, share, comment on all platforms, from YouTube to Deezer to... the list goes on. Make sure you subscribe, share. We appreciate every single one. And, of course, send your comments in as well. And if you're in the UK, you could also catch us on Yanga TV on Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. And on Mondays, a repeat at 7 p.m. That's on Sky 186 and FreeSat 171. Now, before we go into the headlines, I'd like to say... this is a big moment with brand new collaboration with Shoobs.com, partners going forward, a fantastic platform. Shoobs is the leading discovery hub for Black culture experiences, bringing you the latest events, music, and news. With Shoobs, you can discover and buy tickets to the best events happening in your city to satisfy your every need. If you're on a hunt for bottomless brunches, the latest Afrobeats concerts, or just a banging night out, Shoobs has got you covered. Now, Shoobs is at the center of all experiences, whether you're an event organizer looking to sell out your event or looking for the perfect event to attend. Visit Shoobs.com and get Shoobs in now. Anyway, some of the headlines we'll be looking at will be Grammy wins for Wizkid and Burna Boy. Tanzania mourns the shock death of President John Magufuli. The fallout of the win, of the Grammy Award win in Ghana. And of course, rapper AKA ready to walk the aisle. Now, to break these stories down with me in the studio, two colleagues. To the extreme right is AKA DJ, AKA presenter, AKA the man himself, a returnee to the Afrobeats Podcast. It is Rod Rance. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you for having me. As always, it was a pleasure.
Yes, sir. And in the middle is the first time appearance here on the Afrobeats Podcast. It is Norma of the Dreams and Money Podcast.
Hello.
Did I get that right?
You got it perfectly. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you very much for joining me. I hope we all got the stories, so we're going to get into it.
Let's get it.
We start in the USA, where this past week saw huge wins for Afrobeats or Afropop, as two Nigerian stars picked up Grammy Awards in different categories. Now, the first being Wizkid alongside Beyoncé and Blue Ivy in the Best Video category for Brown Skin Girl, and the second being Burna Boy in the Best Global Album category for his last album, Twice as Tall. Now, Burna Boy also went further with a stunning performance from Lagos that was shown during the ceremony. This year's ceremony was record-breaking as Beyoncé became the most decorated woman in Grammy history, Taylor Swift becoming the first woman to pick up a Grammy for the best album 3 times in 3 years, and Burna Boy becoming the first global award winner. A round of applause to some of the African representations in there. And it has to be said that the video director for Brown Skin Girl is a British Nigerian. I think it's Jennifer Nkuru, based in the United States of America.
Once again.
Exactly. So, who would like to take this one first? It was a huge night for us on Sunday. I was super excited. Anybody that follows me on social media would have noticed how gassed I was for Afrobeats to eventually not get validation, but confirmation that these artists are just on the same level on the global stage as some of the other artists we've enjoyed for a long time. It's taken us a long time to get here, but I believe Burnaboy's win and Wizkid's win ushers in a new look for young African creatives. Let me go to Rod Rance. What are you saying about this, man?
So, like, I don't really watch the Grammys very often. This was the first time in a long time that I've watched the Grammys. And Wiz and Burna solidifies what I've been saying for years. I remember years ago when I was saying Afrobeats is the next thing. My friends were laughing at me. Who's laughing now? Who is laughing now?
We got it now.
And then secondly, Burna Boy is the definition of inspiration. Last year, he lost out to Angelique Koji.
Yeah, Kijo,
sorry. He said, I'm going to come back next year. I'm going to win. What did he do? He came back and he won. When they say Nigerians never carry last, they're not lying.
They ain't playing. Norma?
You guys do your thing. No, do you know what? I'm so proud of how far Africa has come, and I think that, you know, like you just said, it's just the beginning and so much more to come. I have a question though.
Yes.
A little bit controversial,
Please.
so I don't want anybody to come for me.
Come on.
Do you feel like, obviously you said, right, he lost last year and decided, like, I feel like he decided, you know what, let me re-strategize, figure out what will make it worthy of a Grammy, because his album that was nominated in 2020 was absolutely amazing. Right?
African Giant.
African Giant. You would have thought that would have taken the award because that album was everywhere. Do you feel like it was a bit more strategic this year with him collaborating with American artists and obviously, you know, the more Western side in order to get it in the bag?
Initially, when Twice as Tall was announced, and it was also announced that P. Diddy was going to executive produce it, a lot of people started kicking up a stink. Oh, what's this? P. Diddy, they've come to water it down. But a lot of people forget that when it comes to the global playing field, and as a business person, you also understand that partnerships is what makes things even more successful.
Yeah.
So Burna Boy bringing the likes of P. Diddy, Anderson .Paak, and Timbaland, and all of these guys on board with Twice as Tall was not only just to say, oh, let's find a way to just collaborate and feature Naughty by Nature and feature. No, it was a strategic move. He knows that the content is there. Let me also work with people that have worked in this arena for quite some time to give me extra backing to possibly pick up what I should have picked up 12 months ago. Again, it is a fantastic strategy by a business team that's backing a talent and a product that they believe deserves to be on the global stage. And that is what people should be doing.
So, follow-up question.
Yes.
Will the album have been nominated and won without the influence and without the addition of those
Nobody
Western...
cares.
I'm just asking a question.
I'm going to defer to Rod Rance, but I want to finish this way.
Yeah.
Nobody cares because that is part of the process.
The game.
Would Wizkid have won if it wasn't Brown Skin Girl?
With Beyonce.
Beyonce? It's a good question, but will Beyonce have won if Wizkid was not on Brown Skin Girl?
Yeah.
Would Beyonce have won if the director of the video wasn't a Nigerian African who knew how to display the culture perfectly in a video that made that video worthy of a Grammy win? Do you understand what I mean?
No,
so as it works on the other side, it's the same way it's working on this side. And what we also have to do is we have to ensure that to get in the door sometimes, you have to walk. There's a saying that people say in Nigeria says, follow who know road. The night of his loss to Angelique Kidjo, do you know what happened? He had a meeting with Angelique Kidjo where he posted on Twitter the morning after that I just met with my music mom and she gave me advice and I'm going to come back. So he spoke to a winner who is a 4-time Grammy Award winner in Angelique Kidjo, who's now said, son, you've got it all. Now, what needs to be done is let's get the right eyes on you. Let's walk the right talk. Imagine, during this pandemic, he released Twice as Tall, but he was on CNN, Sky News, Channel 4.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, he was everywhere. He was everywhere with it.
Exactly. So it's part of the deal. Rod.
So, a perfect way to kind of sum that up here. I feel like the mistake a lot of musicians make is that music business is a business. As much as it is the music, it is also the business. And the ones that are successful and go far and do things that win Grammys are the ones that are able to see, cool, I've got the music, I need to pattern the business side of things. Once you pattern those two, you will be successful. It's all well and good having amazing music, but if your business knowledge or your business team is whack, it's not going to go nowhere.
Absolutely.
So I feel like that's what Burna did with the idea behind the album, and the results showed. And yeah, so...
What about Wizkid picking up the award and being a lot more quieter with his celebrations for the award?
But that's Wizkid, though, isn't it?
It's just
that's
a
Wiz.
swag,
Wiz is just like a cool cat. That's his thing, isn't it?
Just a
He's just cool with it.
When he did that YouTube thing of where they followed him around that's the first time, I think the only time we've ever seen Wiz like that. Because Wiz isn't really like a social media person. You don't really see him going on live. You don't really see him tweeting much. He's not really, I doubt he even controls his Twitter. Like, Wiz is a very private person. So for him to not celebrate in the same manner as Burna, who is somebody who likes to be extravagant, and I'm not surprised, but I'm very happy he won. And what I love about that as well is the fact that Blue Ivy won a Grammy for that too. I think that's amazing.
That's cool.
That's
She's become second youngest winner of a Grammy.
I think that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is amazing.
See
And
that
she
privilege.
sounded amazing on that. Literally, like it works. And then you've got DJ Khaled and his son Assad. I don't even know what he does, but he puts him on every single executive producer. What did he do? Did he just press one button? He said executive producer.
But the thing is, I think doing that is a masterstroke by these big artists, because they're putting their kids in their publishing for the future.
I love it.
And it's almost like an investment for the kids in the future.
Absolutely.
Now, I mentioned the fact that this year's Grammy Awards was groundbreaking because it was a strong award ceremony for women. Beyonce, Taylor Swift, her. These women. What's her name? Meg Stallion.
Yeah.
I was about to say Megan.
Exactly,
Good. Oh my
Meg
God.
Stallion. So they came in and they cleaned out this award ceremony, broke records, and everybody felt like, yo, well deserved. Let's flip the script to Africa.
Yeah.
We have incredible female talents from South Africa to Nigeria, but has there ever been a time when, the industries, or do you think there would ever be a time when the industries open their doors to say, a South African Music Awards or a Nigerian Music or MTV Awards, where is Tewa, Yemi, Miss V, Busiswa cleaning up? Do you think we'll ever see anything like that?
I think we're getting to that stage. I feel like this last year, society is really becoming woken up or awake to the issues that women face, not only in the music industry but across the board. So I feel like we're getting to that stage where, as men, we are holding our fellow men accountable for the nonsense they're doing, and as people of power, people who are in positions of power, if a female is good at their craft, we are giving them that credit because they're good at their craft. We're not gonna say, oh, it's a woman, who can't give it to her, let's give it to her. No, I think that time is fading away, and I feel like there will come a time where more than 50% of the winners will be women.
Fantastic.
As you said, Meg Thee Stallion, Taylor Swift, Tiwa, that's a lot of women alone. And if you compare it to last year, it was probably more than last year. And if you go back every year, there's more and more each year. So we are getting to the point where, as men, we're like, listen, these women are hard. You got to give them the credit.
And talent will always speak for itself. Talent will speak for itself. But I think we have to again make a conscious effort to support our women and push them just a bit more further, put our support behind them, do what we can, whether that's the A&Rs, the people that do PR, the radio guys, or the DJs, the guys that are DJing at the clubs, make sure that you just make a conscious effort. I think sometimes we kind of do it subconsciously, but really make a conscious effort to make sure, okay, is my playlist 50-50 to male to female, or is it a bit more skewed to the males? And let me just make sure that I'm supporting my women, with deliberately.
Facts.
Literally,
Facts.
on that note,
Facts.
I think, was it last week there was International Women's
Yeah,
was it last week? Yeah, so on my show, apart from the first 20 minutes, so my show is a 2-hour show, right? My top 5 was all women. my spotlight was women,
That's
and after
brilliant.
that, the remaining hour and a half, I played nothing but
That's
female artists.
fantastic. That needs to be applauded.
As a dedication towards the women in the game.
Absolutely.
And I feel like a lot more people need to do that, especially when around time, not just around International Women's Day, do it in general.
Consistently.
But be more aware, like, cool, this is their time to shine. Let's give them that shine.
And let's look closer at the playlist. Let's look closer and start to make intentional efforts. I completely agree with both of you. Another question before we move on from this is, what does this Grammy win mean for Afrobeats?
It means people are paying attention. It means you people are paying attention. You people that were not listening, you're not paying attention.
What's up, my people? My name is Adeshokwe Olaji, aka Shopsidu, aka the Energy God, and I'm officially on Fanbase. Now, Fanbase is a partner of Adeshokwe Live, the official Afrobeats podcast. So you can hit me up on there if you have any questions about getting into the music industry, about the Afrobeats culture, and I'll specifically speak to you. Like I said, I'm giving free advice on Fanbase at the moment, so make sure you join Fanbase and hit me up for more information.
Attention. Before you're playing Afrobeats at 2 a.m., now you're playing at 4 p.m. How do you feel?
Telling you,
But we're on the global stage now.
That's
because
it.
Beyond
You can't deny
Africa, It's beyond Africa. It's beyond the Africans in the diaspora. Like, we are going global, and we're about to get bigger and bigger. This is just the beginning, right? I mean, we're only less than a decade in terms of Afrobeats.
Yeah, being
it's
cool.
Yeah, just being cool. And now again, this is just step one. Like, we're only like a baby that's walking. We're about to run with it. We're about to go global.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. And yo, that's why I was super stoked. I was gassed like crazy. Now, sticking to the Grammys, whilst entertainers across Africa congratulated the stars on their huge wins, Ghanaian superstar Stonebwoy tweeted his congratulatory message, and all hell broke loose. The star wrote, and I quote, "With all due respect, let all other African nations give it up for Nigeria for their constant efforts in holding the mantle for Africa when it comes to entertainment on the global scene. Congrats for holding it down at the Grammys. As for Ghana, shake my head. I'll be back." Now, once that tweet went out, dancehall star Samini responded to Stonebwoy by saying, and I quote, "Ghana will be okay if we begin to keep it 100 with each other as artists, my G. It starts from being honest and calling a spade a spade. Do you think they disrespect Two-Face Idibia like you disrespect Samini? Hashtag year of the truth. And before you give extra fake fans to Nigeria, hashtag check yourself, faker."
Shots
End
fired.
quote. Instantly, once that tweet went out, Samini responded. Twitter went absolutely crazy. A lot of Ghanaians were asking the question, will Ghanaian pop stars ever be at that level? They created a clubhouse room that I went into, had over 500 industry insiders in Ghana in there speaking about, what they felt was wrong with the industry and why some of their A-list superstars like Shatta Wale or Stonebwoy haven't been considered in that arena yet. And people started to attack Shatta Wale to say maybe he just keeps it too local. He's never really tried to go international and stuff. He came back with a video where he was kicking out at people. Where he was saying, the Ghanaian music industry, the media don't support the artists enough, and that they are more invested in gossip stories rather than stories that would help to elevate the artist to the next level. First of all, what are your thoughts about, Ghana's uprising and the back and forth because of Nigeria's Grammy win?
I feel like Stonebwoy did nothing wrong in congratulating Nigeria, and Stonebwoy told no lies. Personally, if you guys want to come for me, then come for me. Every African nation needs to listen to what Stonebwoy said, because Nigeria has flown the flag for Afrobeats and African culture globally for a very long time. We're not just speaking about in Africa. Obviously, in Africa, we all have our own respective areas. But we're speaking globally. Nigeria has flown the flag for a very long time. So Stonebwoy did nothing wrong. Samini coming at him in that way, I feel like maybe they've got some personal...
There's personal.
They've got some personal beef there.
Personal. Because Samini is considered an OG of dancehall music, and obviously when the likes of Shatta Wale and Stonebwoy came into the game, obviously the person that they probably go back and forth with the beef is Samini. But he's been there a lot longer than them, so he felt a little bit like, yo, man, you ain't respecting me. This is it. And he used that as a moment to say that there's no unity and respect in the Ghanaian music industry.
See, even the way he went about it, I would say that that's being hypocritical to a sense, because you're saying you could have hit him up. I'm sure you know one member of Stoneboy's team. You could have spoken to him directly rather than doing a tweet, which is now going to be grabbed by the blogs to go and post, and then you're going to come and complain saying, "All you guys want to do is post Wahala." Look what you just done.
You're providing us.
You're providing the Wahala to be posted. Yeah. So I don't understand why Samini. If you got personal beef, then leave your personal beef aside. And if you have got something to say, I always say it behind closed doors, because this is what these blogs are looking for. And as for Shatta saying that the blogs are, or people are looking for gossip, that's their job. That's what they do. You know that comes with the territory. Don't mind them. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on giving us good quality content. And whatever they say, we'll pay more attention to your music than what they're saying. But if you're too busy giving us stuff that we don't really care about, and then they're going to say extra on top, I can't lie. To me, it sounds like Shatta is just he should be more vexed at himself, not them. It sounds like he's just taking out his own frustration on them, because really and truly, he's frustrated that after the collab with Beyonce, no one's really heard of him. He's not really gone nowhere.
What are you thinking, Norma?
Wow. You've just like thrown me off. I was just thinking, like, you're right. He's probably kind of feeling frustrated, like, wow, like I've been putting in work, but it just seems to be getting nowhere. But at the end of the day, like, it takes time. Unfortunately, things don't happen at the same time for everybody. Like, we don't all get to be Wizkid in the space of 10 years. We don't get to the level that Burna Boy got to in the space of like a year. So I think sometimes it is patience and knowing that we have to collaborate. Like, if he's saying like, okay, cool, in Ghana, we're not popping off in the same way that Nigeria's been popping off. Let's find a solution. Because all of this, we're complaining, but we're not getting anywhere. There's no resolution. There's no like coming together of people collaborating. Let's get the DJs, let's get the A&R people, let's get whoever's involved within that industry, in that community. Let's find a way to make our stuff go global in the same way that Nigeria has managed to. Of course, Nigeria's got the advantage of that. They've got Nigerians in every single corner of the world. You guys have numbers behind you, which some other African countries don't have the advantage of. So I feel like we also have to keep that in mind. But again, like hold on. The talent again will speak for itself. But again, it is a team effort. And I feel like you, in terms of Nigeria and the industry, you guys do that very well in terms of like collaborating and bringing each other in. Shopsy, you do that amazing in terms of like, working with people, talking to people on FaceTime and artists and, making sure that they're being put on. So again, I feel like Ghana or the rest of Africa has to do the same with the diaspora and just let's work together to get it popping. Otherwise, in 2 years' time, he'll be in the same situation, talking about the same thing, complaining about the same thing. We're not winning Grammys. We're not winning Grammys. We're not winning the awards. We're not touring worldwide. Again, it's just about let's collaborate and put each other on, man.
Rod, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I see. I feel like I kind of slightly disagree with you there because I feel like the reason why Nigerian artists are able to grow to the level and reach the heights they have isn't necessarily because they have better product, is because, in my opinion, they're better business minded. For example, if you look at when Shatta did the collab with Beyonce, at that time, he could have more or less grabbed anybody he wanted to grab for a song. That was his time to go and shout, let's do a feature. What did he do? Nothing. Stoneboy didn't have that Beyonce collab, but he still went and done Emily Sandé, done this person, done that person. If Shatta had done the same thing that Stoneboy did when he had that whole Beyonce hype, he would have potentially got a nomination. Or
even be in the spotlight. Now, the conversation really, I think the underlining conversation is not even really about the Grammys. It's basically about how come the Nigerian artists are getting more exposure than a lot of us? Now, he's complaining about the media in Ghana. And the funny thing is, I've spoken to a couple of Ghanaian friends and family of mine. Shout out to my sister, Ricky Davis, who is adamant that Shatta Wale is accurate with the fact that Ghanaian media do like gossip and all of these things that people get interested in.
But it's not just Ghana though. Everyone does it. That's what Nigeria does. Instablog Niger is one of the biggest blogs.
That's what I wanted. I told her and I said, yes, but also you also have to look at the audience. The audience for these platforms and this gossip and these stories, particularly in diaspora, Ghanaians in diaspora, they follow these huge broadcasters in Ghana that love to break down things and say who's dating who's got a scandal here.
Who got who pregnant?
Exactly. So they're always following those things. So if there's not a high demand for it, I think the media will find a way to shift its focus to something else. And second of all, it's really not the work of the media back home to project the talent to the world. Is the work of the talent back home to find its way to the media in the world to get their voices heard. So I think that's a key message that really has to be passed, not only to some Ghanaian artists or musicians across Africa, that listen, yes, you can demand that your local media does a lot more in supporting the talent, but really and truly, the job is at your desk to find ways to get your content to the rest of the world. And if that means, like Norma said, finding people in diaspora, your Rod Rants, your Shopsy Doos, your Gracie Mays, and being in front of the world so that they can see you rather than doing, because a lot of people, the Grammy committees in America, in LA, they don't know what's going on in Kumasi. We've got to be honest, bro. They're not following me. They're not following whatever broadcaster in Kumasi or Accra or Lagos or Ibadan. No, they're following Ebro. They're following Good Morning America. They're following Jimmy Fallon. They're following, those guys. So if Burna Boy has found his way into Jimmy Fallon, into CNN, into Sky News, into Ebro Darden, that's where you have to go.
Agreed.
And at the end of the day, all of these celebrity gossip sites have been there from day, and it's not, again, like you said, it's not their job to put you on to where you need to be. That's where your marketing team comes in. That's where your PR team comes in to make sure you're put into the right spaces, you're put into the right platforms, you're put into the right YouTube pages or the right radio shows, right? And again, these sites are not going anywhere anytime soon, and they will continue to talk about the hot gossip, because in the day we like a bit of gossip.
We love
like
it,
to
man.
talk. So
Exactly.
it's not going anywhere. So just make sure your team got you when they've got you in the spaces you need to be, and just focus on that.
Now, speaking about gossip and Grammys, obviously once Burna Boy picked up the Grammy, everybody was on social media, cloud chasing, posting pictures, and I was one of those. I posted 1 or 2 pictures with
I
Burna
posted
Boy.
too.
Exactly. We all had to cloud chase. There was, I think, an ex-girlfriend of Burna Boy posted a video while she was FaceTiming him in the past and put in the caption that she was cloud chasing by posting a video because she was celebrating her ex-boyfriend picking up a Grammy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. She said she was cloud chasing. But another video leaked within the last 24 hours. We can't confirm when it was recorded or whatever. And it was by a lady who had recorded Burna Boy in his underwear in bed whilst he was sleeping.
And that lady wasn't Steph London.
But again, we have to clear that we don't know when that video was recorded. But Rod, what's going on, bro?
Let me get comfortable here, right?
Yeah, what's going on?
So, for Burna, someone like Burna who's at the level he's at, I would have thought he would have more brains.
No.
Than to get caught like that.
No, bro. It's not. Listen, you've got to. That's not Burna's fault.
No, it is.
No.
It is Burna's fault. Let me tell you why this is Burna's fault. Let me break it down to you.
I wanna hear.
Let me tell you why, right? I follow a lot of these American artists. So before I got so heavy Afrobeats, I was heavy
R&B,
into trap, like Migos, Future. Those are my guys. They're still my guys now. What these guys do, when the ladies come to the hotel room, bucket all the phones in the bucket and then put it away. You're not having your phone, so you're leaving the hotel. That's how you don't get. I'm not condoning it, but that's how you don't get caught.
I'm condoning it. How about that? How about that?
know what?
But at least if you're gonna do it smart. That's how you don't get caught. So
No,
Do you know what? He got caught like a rat on the highway because.
I'm not.
Do you know what? Like, first of all, sis, right?
Exactly.
If this video is new, right? Sis, enjoy and go. What's all of this extra
cloud chasing,
recording and putting out on the internet? Maybe she did.
She did.
Cloud
God knows
chasing.
who put it out, but. Even if you record, you show it to your friend and that's it.
But that's not how you clout chase though.
No, I know, but I'm saying don't clout chase. Enjoy what you're enjoying and be going.
My question.
Why are you fumbling the bag?
Now my
Potential
question.
bag.
My question is this: when you record a guy at that point, that vulnerable position, and he wakes up to find out that the video had leaked, do you expect to be with him again, or
It's not gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. You're fumbling the bag. Like,
It's not gonna happen.
if you're
what is
enjoying
that?
what you're enjoying, like,
She
do,
just
do
wanted
what
to
you-
tell everybody that
not-
Yeah,
I've
it's
got
me.
the Grammy right here.
Literally. Unless your WAP is mad, he's never seen you again. He's never seen you. He's never seen you again.
Bro,
You know what?
regardless, bro, he's never gonna come back.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah,
listen,
no.
you have to understand at the level that Burna Boy is at the moment. Yes, he's an incredible talent, a fantastic musician, but he's also at the pinnacle of a structure that's backing the Burna Boy brand.
Yeah.
Management, the company, the brand, the
Everything,
affiliates,
everything.
the endorsements. And when he is in this vulnerable position, as we've seen before, the billionaire from Nigeria whose ass or behind was shown was recorded by the lady in Atlanta
Yeah.
or whatever. These kind of things affect your image. So it might not, he might even find it funny, like, oh man, she's just cool. But the whole camp, they're gonna be,
Yeah,
their hair
yeah.
will be back.
Literally.
But do you know what though? I don't know if I feel like when it comes to men, you guys for that kind of behavior, let's say like whether that's cheating or sleeping around or whatever, like sleeping with fans, you're never affected that much.
No.
Like, you're forgiven.
Who told you that?
You're
You're
Who
forgiven.
Who told you that?
No, but
Who told you that?
Okay, wait. How many men have been cancelled or held accountable for cheating or like?
No,
whatever?
first of all,
besides Bill Clinton, who else has been held
No,
accountable?
it wasn't even,
Or like
first of all,
you were with a woman. Like,
wait.
okay,
First
we
of all,
expect
Bill.
it from you.
Wait.
We expect it from you.
Wait. Bill Clinton, first of all, was never cancelled. What's happening, my G? Bill. Let's get that
Oh, yeah,
right.
that's true, that's
Bill was never cancelled. He kept his job, still with the woman. Life is good. However,
Yeah.
cheating
White
is
privilege,
an
okay.
emotional and personal crime.
Right.
It's not an official crime where you've broken the law and they need
Right.
to arrest you and throw you up against the wall or
Mm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It is a personal crime committed to someone who you've committed to. Say, yo, you're my girl, you're my man,
Yeah.
and I'm never going to look sideways. So
Yeah.
when you commit that crime, it's up to that person to decide whether you're cancelled
Yeah.
or not.
Or not.
The rest of the world can, you get me?
Yeah.
Piss off. Do you understand?
So that's what I'm saying. Like the rest of the world doesn't really care.
Yeah, but-
we kind of expect it from these artists.
But then from a
like
va-
we're not shocked. Is anyone here shocked? Are you gonna tell me you're shocked?
No.
that
The thing is,
it was
Exactly.
caused like arrest on the
We're
highway.
not
but
shocked here, but
we're
from-
shocked that it was recorded.
Yeah, from a brand
Right.
point of view,
Okay.
it damages his image.
Yeah.
Like it damages endorsement deals.
Yeah, it
this
just
that this
doesn't
that.
look good.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's
fair
where
enough.
The
fair,
blog,
fair enough on that.
the blog that posted it had to edit out the last bit of the video because apparently showed him his bits in the underwear and stuff.
yeah, nah.
And that Instagram page was thinking that if they post that
page is
Instagram
gone.
could take it down.
That page is
Yeah.
gone.
And that's why they did that. So they made an executive decision
To not-
to not do that.
Yeah.
However, the person that recorded that purposely recorded the whole thing. You know, and so that's my thing goes this way. What exactly are women what's a woman aiming to achieve by recording? Like
You
I
know
don't
what?
get it now.
In this life, what I've noticed so far is that clout is a hell of a drug. Like people will do anything for clout, and any brothers out there who are successful, who are doing their thing, whether you're single or you're not single, if you're in a position where
It's
this kind of thing will damage you,
sensitive, yeah.
watch your back because there's
They're coming.
not just Burna. We've seen it happen in multiple industries,
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
people where.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, even footballers, Phil Foden and what's his name,
yeah.
the Manchester one, Mason Greenwood.
Mason Greenwood,
When they got set up by those two girls, the girls posted beforehand they were going to set them up, and then they basically
wow.
documented the whole like process of setting them up to the point where they then showed the video of them chilling in the hotel room. Like, guys, you gotta watch your back. As I said, bucket, phone, you're not getting it back until you leave.
Until you leave the
Until you
hotel
leave.
room. But
And it's-
another thing is, you probably expect that that's a woman that he's comfortable with. And if you're comfortable with her, you wouldn't expect that somebody probably has been with quite a couple of times would go as far. But again, she had the Grammys in her bed. So she just wanted to flaunt
Listen,
that.
but like
Sis, do you know what? Sis probably woke up. She said, "Wow, is this really me?" Next to she said, "Let me do a quick little and sent it to the group chat like, girls,
What's
guess who was
going on?
secured yesterday? Grammy winning Oluwa Burna.
One thing I will say though, like whoever she is, she must have been good because the way Burna was conked out.
Out like a light.
The way Burna was conked out. I ain't never been that conked out before.
No, but you know, I will say though, like in those situations, I don't think the girls realize like they never win in the way they thought they would.
Of course not, never.
Because now you just looked at like
Yeah.
a clout chaser.
Yeah.
People will forgive him eventually.
Oh, no.
All he's got to do is drop one fire song.
Listen.
Now you're just the girl that was out here clout chasing and like a groupie. Now everyone's looking at you like a groupie and just that thirsty babe. Like, it's not worth it.
For me, just to round that up, he ain't never done anything wrong. He's 28 years old, Grammy-winning Afrobeat superstar with a couple $1 million in his bank. Please.
Let him celebrate. Let him celebrate. But remember, bucket phone, you're not getting it back.
Now, over to the USA, where this week an audio leaked with gospel legend Kirk Franklin in a heated exchange with his firstborn child and son of 33 years old. Now, his son went further by alleging parental abuse against his father and superstar Kirk Franklin. The singer was first to speak publicly about the ongoing issues with the relationship with his son and how far they have gone to resolve the issues, such as attending counseling multiple times. Now, after Kirk's interview, his daughter also took to Twitter to slam her brother for what she claimed was bad behavior and a sense of entitlement. Where do we want to start with this, man? When I heard the audio, and this is Kirk Franklin I've listened to for decades, swearing at the top of his voice, you know, obviously in a rage, not happy with how the young man was speaking to him and stuff like that. It did sound a little iffy, but then again, you think about it, as a man, you know, speaking to your grown-up son who allegedly had disrespected you at the beginning of the conversation, sometimes a man's just got to put it down. Like, bro, you're not going to come here and I gave you life.
Imagine you're swimming inside me, and then now you want to come and be moving mad. You are mad.
So talk to me. What are your thoughts when you saw that story and how Kirk Franklin has handled it?
It's so tricky because I think the son said something about he was even scared to go back to his house or something along the lines of like, you know, alluding to like emotional abuse or something along those lines. I think when it comes to particularly gospel artists, you know, they are held to like a higher standard, like a higher moral standard, because, you know, people are expecting so much of you and forgetting like, yeah, I'm Christian, but at the end of the day, I'm still human, number one. Number two, I'm a dad. And if you listen to the audio, that son was disrespectful. He told him to shut the F up. I said, the African in me was flabbergasted.
You see, when you say that, it turns into a Nollywood movie. You pause, they play some burial ceremony songs.
And you know someone's dying.
And the next scene will be the son at the burial ground.
Literally, you're out, you're gone. And I just, like that, I mean, both of them were disrespectful in the way they spoke to each other. And I feel like, you know, like, you have to respect each other. Obviously, yes, you know, Kirk Franklin is the dad. However, you set the tone in the way that you speak to your children. And if you're, I know, you know, when it comes to the parent-child relationship, you're expected to automatically respect your parents.
Facts.
However, some parents can make that a little bit difficult. I'm not saying that's what Kirk Franklin did, but I'm just saying, you know, maybe like he should have just set a better tone in the way he was speaking to him. Obviously, we don't know what happened prior in the conversation, but yeah, that child was a bit disrespectful. So I was, you know, I would not be surprised if Kirk Franklin flew through that phone and just punched him up real quick, watch your mouth. But yeah, like it's tricky.
I mean, obviously, as you said, as a gospel artist, you are seen to carry yourself in a certain manner. As you also said, end of the day, you're human. Like if your child is disrespecting you, and if you think about it as well, no one knows how to push your button better than your kids.
Yeah.
No one knows. So if your child is there pushing your button, eventually you're gonna blow. So again, I don't know the full ins and outs of the argument and how it started, how it ended, how it escalated. But I definitely feel as though he was more disrespectful in my eyes to his father than his father was to him. Like me, for example, could I ever even dream about saying that to my parents? I said my mom's real name one time, and the look she gave me to this day, I never said her real name in public again. I said her real age once, and she stayed that age for 10 years because I was too scared to even ask how old she is. And then I'm gonna go and start swearing to my mum.
The thought of that behavior, the thought of it alone is a crime in an African household.
Literally,
to think of disrespecting your parents.
Like you know when your mum they're gonna hit you and you raise your hand to defend yourself. There's no defending. Whatever you've done, you deserve it.
When you try to defend, that's a fight.
You try to kill me. Next thing you know, your mom is on the phone to your dad. Your daughter trying to finish me.
Hey, I beg, come back here.
You want to fight? Oh no. Okay, so you want to fight me now? Wait, you want to beat me?
You're grown
so
now.
you're big now.
In my house, you've grown wings.
In my house, in my own house, you've grown wings. Oh my God, you've grown horns. Honestly.
But it's a difficult one for someone like Kirk Franklin to handle this in the public space now, having to do interviews where he spoke candidly about them attending counseling sessions. And again, it has to be reported that the son is 33 years old. You're not a baby.
You're a big
you
man.
understand?
No.
This is a big man.
You're a big man.
I thought he was maybe like a teenager.
No.
Or like he's like 18,
He's
19.
33 years old.
Oh, sir, get it together. No. What I wanted to say, though, is that, like, because you've now put your private issues with your family out in the public,
that's never a good thing.
It makes it a little bit more awkward to deal with it, because I feel like I can never potentially argue with you again because are you going to put it on social media?
Yeah.
You know, like, if I say anything to you, I can't correct you properly because what are you going to say that, you know, I'm being disrespectful again? Are you going to put it on social media? Like, it just makes the relationship a bit awkward. Like, I don't know. And now I'm thinking, like, what's the setup in the household now? Because it's a bit awkward.
That action itself is like a big trust that he's just broken. Like, whatever happens in the house stays in the house. The fact that he's done that, he's just broken such a big level of trust between him and his dad and him and his family, because his sister didn't agree with it, him and his family. So whatever you got going on, and also you're 33. By the age of 33, you should know how to communicate with your parents without it leading to that. And even if it leads to that, you should know to behave like a 33-year-old and not post it on social media.
That's a big man, man. Well, to a lighter news, it's over to South Africa, where rapper AKA sent the rumor mills into a frenzy. The rapper, who recently proposed to his girlfriend Nelly Tembe with an expensive ring, took to Twitter to ask for the price of cow. Well, that wouldn't have meant anything to a lot of people, apart from the fact that in Southern Africa, in South African tradition called lobola can be described as, on Google, as an African custom by which a bridegroom's family makes a payment in cattle or cash to the bride's family shortly before marriage. So once AKA made that reference, it instantly set alarm bells ringing that perhaps the lovebirds are about to jump the broom. Norma, you're of Southern African Zimbabwean heritage. Lobola, can you give us a little breakdown of exactly what that is, please?
Yeah, so it's basically part of the marriage tradition. It's where you now move over from, you know, your family side, you're marrying into your husband's side. And part of that is, of course, exchange of gifts for, you know, your mom, so the wife's mom and the dad and potentially the other family members. And then with that, it's either cows, goats, chickens. They can demand 10 cows, 5 goats, 3 chickens, or 100 cows and 50 goats. So again, it just depends on how expensive you are or what your husband's pockets are looking like, really and truly. So the minute he asked for the cow price, instantly everybody he said he was asking for a friend.
that old chestnut.
It's always for a friend, isn't it? But yes, it seems as if he's ready. I'm proud. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, Rod, you know, he looks like AKA one of the, you know, the hottest bachelors on the continent, successful rapper, superstar status, extremely rich. Popped the question a couple of weeks ago. He might be walking down the aisle very soon.
That is amazing news to hear. Do you know why? I feel like a lot of women think that a lot of us men, we never grow out of certain stages, certain phases. At some point, we grow out of that phase, and it's good to see someone like him.
Is when the growing out is.
Exactly. We don't know when it will happen. At some point it will happen. We don't know when. Don't ask us.
Anytime
just
between
know it will
0 and
happen.
40.
Literally, just know it will happen. But at some point, every good player has to leave the game, innit? Like, he needs to hang up his boots. He's had a great season. Amazing signing for Team Men FC. You know, it's time to pass on the mantle, so to
And
speak.
when is that? Because it seems as if these days, anywhere between 0 to 40, that you're like, you know what, it's time. Or anywhere from 0 to 50. It seems as if that age keeps on getting.
There's no
you know,
I don't
further
think
and further.
I don't think there's like one blanket age. I think it's just a case of the path that each individual has
Absolutely.
lived. Do you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
me, for example,
Yeah, you're not ready.
I enjoyed in uni. No. I feel like I am because
Are
I
you
enjoyed
ready?
in uni. I enjoyed
really?
in
You
uni.
was
So
at it. You was
because
at
I
it.
enjoyed in uni, I feel like I'm at a stage now where
You might just be ready to settle
I
down.
might be ready to see what's there.
It's a tough one because, again, just like Rod said, it's a personal journey. It's when you think you're comfortable with living with a partner, sharing a lot of things with a partner, ready to settle down and have kids and raising a family with a partner. Those are, decisions that most young guys, we find it difficult. Listen, you're still taking pocket money from dad and mom.
Yeah.
Man's still living at home. Mom's still cleaning my clothes.
Yeah.
She's still cooking for me. Yo, I'm about to go start living with someone else who's gonna ask me where I am. If I'm leaving home, I have to
When I'm
tell
coming
her.
back.
Yeah.
So you guys you're scared to lose your freedom.
Yeah. I
But
remember one time I was out once, and I was out all night, and my mom called. I just like, I saw my phone ringing, maybe like 4 a.m. And he says, "Mommy," you know the way you write "mommy" in capital. And I'm like, "Yeah, hello, mommy." He's like, "When are you coming home?" I first of all thought, should I kick off here? But nah, man, I'm in a zone. I can't kick off, man. Everybody's gonna be looking at me. I'll be home soon. She said, "When exactly?" I'm like, "Yeah, come on, man." I'm big, but I just thought, listen, you gotta put the ego aside, answer this woman, and hang up the phone.
Before you get home, and she's
Guys, I'm like, I'll be home in about 30, 40 minutes. I hung up the phone. I'm like, bro, I'm a big man.
But I feel like once somebody like that does make the decision, cool, it's time to hang up my boots, they tend to
stick by it.
And be a pretty good husband.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're able to get to like a late age and you haven't yet married, then it's because you know exactly what you're waiting for. So once that time comes and you decide, cool, this is the time.
Sometimes it's
that
also,
is the time,
bro. Sometimes it's also like you become so comfortable with being a bachelor so long. To allow somebody else in your space to be 50-50 with decision making might be a struggle.
Yeah, it's a lot to give
It's
away.
a lot to give away.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Like, what's the...
No, it is. It's a beautiful thing, but because we are aware of what it comes with.
Because it's like, I don't know, it just feels as if like men are shook. Like,
No.
yeah,
It is.
marriage,
What a shook.
my
What a shook.
freedom, my money.
You know what the
I have
thing
to
is?
answer to
When they
somebody.
say
50-50 decision.
when they say marriage to a man, the picture that comes in his mind is
It's
him
like
standing.
shackles. You know, it's as if they've shackled you down, like
His
they've
hands
they've
behind his
bolted
back,
you down.
him bowing his head, saying, "Okay, I'm just going out with my friends. I'll be." That's the image.
I
that
mean,
pops-
that's probably where the phrase "tie him down" came from.
Oh.
That's probably where the phrase came from. So I mean, we didn't start that phrase. That phrase is how many years old? So we're not finna be tied down
You
yet.
ain't going nowhere, B. I got you
Literally.
forever. It's me.
It's them ones where
you
if you leave the
forever.
house, they know when you've left. You come back, they know when you came back. Yeah, literally are. I mean, as I said, once you're ready, it's a beautiful thing. It's amazing. But until we're ready, don't rush us because it will not end well.
No, definitely not. That's probably the worst
you'll be
thing
wiped
you
before.
probably do.
Anyway, stayed in Southern Africa, Zimbabwe to be exact, where a man called Hard Life Ndlovu, who has been married to Amanda Moyo, applied for a restraining order. Now, against his wife, whom he claims drinks profusely, locks him out of the house, and rains insults at him consistently. It has to be said that the couple have only been married for a year, and in addition to his abuse allegations, Hard Life Ndlovu also presented 3 used condoms he claimed to have found in his wife's car while searching for documents proving that she had also engaged in sexual activity outside of wedlock. Well, the man failed to appear in court on the day of the judgment, leading to his case being thrown out. However, his wife has filed a countersuit against asking for a restraining order against Mr. Hardlife. I'm going to start with the Zimbabwean representative in the room, Norma. What's going on?
Talk to us.
He presented the pictures too. You know,
The pictures of the what?
the used condoms he found in his wife's
Is that
car.
how your sisters are moving?
First of all, let's not do that. That's not what we're going to do here. We're not going to do that.
So what's happening? What's happening here?
So I have number one. His parents named him Hard Life. That's where the first mistake was. Number two. Unless he has evidence of her engaging in intercourse in the car.
Oh my God!
Free my
Wait.
girl.
Is this basically a woman basically studying? So listen,
wait.
She could have borrowed her car to her colleague,
Oh
her
my
friend,
God.
her sister. Is there evidence to say that she was the one that used the condoms? Is there evidence?
wow.
You know,
so
if we-
this is how women
If
move.
we use the same excuse,
It's
it's
a
game over.
question.
It's game
I'm
over.
just-
If a girl
I'm
likes a
just
picture on my
asking a
Instagram, I'm
question.
dead.
Wow. So this is how.
I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just here to ask the right questions.
Oh my
Was there
God.
evidence of this?
So what kind of
woman
evidence would you have liked to have seen?
Yeah. What evidence would you have liked? You basically want to see her
Caught in
engaging.
action.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh.
Okay.
So basically,
So unless you catch me engaging, it didn't happen. Okay, that's what I'm saying too.
even
I
those text
mean,
messages
You
and
know,
phone.
you know how they say like if it's not on the gram, it didn't happen. Yeah, same thing applies here.
Wow.
But no, do you know what? No,
That's
if
mine.
if she did it, boy, it's a sticky one still. But I love the fact that she then went and
Countersued.
sued as well.
Imagine.
She was like, you know what? No,
Nah,
I want a
I don't
restraining
want this
order
guy.
too, because clearly he's wilding as well. And the fact that you didn't show up to court, so it wasn't that serious then.
He probably was a little bit shook as well.
It
'cause
probably wasn't that
he was
serious
a little-
because if you was really serious about this thing, you would have showed up to court and be like, I don't want
That is
nothing to do
a
with
good
you
point.
anymore.
That is a good.
Why
but
did
you-
it back out? Why did it back out?
You know what? Yeah.
Because either you're lying or something is sus. You two, you were doing your own business that you don't want to be found out in court. Because I'm sure sis is going to come through with her own receipts. Why are you coming back late at night? She's locking you at the door.
Wow.
Why?
This is amazing.
But then
lots
why?
of questions.
But then why is she just drinking profoundly?
So he's involved. He's
Allegedly.
probably drinking. Allegedly.
Yeah, let me say allegedly before someone comes to sue me. It's a new thing I've learned. Allegedly.
Allegedly, that's the blanket cover that you need.
I mean, okay, yeah, of course she's drinking. Let her enjoy her drink. I mean,
Is that
unless she's drinking and blacking out, then maybe that's an issue. But what's wrong with the small drink?
This is why I say it's important to wait until it's the right time before you get married. Because how long did they be married for?
1 year.
And how long were they together before they got married?
They were probably maybe less than a year before that.
Exactly. So you can't truly see all sides of your partner in a short space of time. You need to see the good side, the bad side, and then decide, okay, can I live with the bad side? If you say you've seen it and you choose to follow ahead, it's your own wahala.
your own wahala.
But if you marry before you've seen it and it happens,
that's
it's your own fault.
too.
Yeah, you didn't do your due diligence.
So is this where we say like maybe we advise, okay, maybe you should move in with your partner first before you marry them?
Oh, 100.
Just so you know what you're
1,000%.
Yeah,
getting.
definitely. That's one rule that I have. I'm gonna stick by it. I can't marry no one. I have to live together for at least 2-3 years before I get married to you.
But you do know statistically, apparently,
People that move in
people
together
that move in
don't marry?
together are more likely to get divorced.
Who said so?
Really?
man?
Statistics.
Where's this statistics coming
Statistics
from?
based on research.
Well,
no, legit. I actually
research-
read up on it.
What's the
That,
research? What's
I
the
think
percentage?
part of it is to do with some couples move in together and then it just so happens they kind of go along the lines of marriage when it wasn't really planned before they actually moved in.
But nobody's holding a gun to
Whereas,
your head with
like-
an altar.
No, I know that. Whereas like the couples who had clear intentions before they moved in to say, okay, we're moving in together, we've got a 2-year plan of we're gonna move, we're gonna save, we're gonna get married.
Yeah.
They're more likely to last the long term versus the ones where it just kind of sort of happened and it wasn't, the marriage thing just kind of happened. Yeah, we've been together 2 years.
But then-
we've been living together 2 years and we're just already on this course. Let's just go forward with it. You know?
But then that means that at some point before the marriage, it wouldn't have felt right. So at the time when it starts
maybe,
to not feel right, that's when you back out. You don't continue because it is what it is. You just go with the vibe. No, because first of all, weddings are expensive, so I am not paying for a wedding that doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
Second of all, divorces are expensive, so I'm not losing 50% of my money because I didn't do my research.
I just think that, somehow you have to have, just as Roger said, found a way to know all sides of your partner before you put pen to paper.
Yeah.
Marriage is a different ball game.
Yeah.
And if you haven't done your due diligence, you haven't found a way to see all sides of your partner, and you guys get married, and all of a sudden things start to pop up, life becomes even like it will be crazy.
Yeah.
So the best thing is to find out about your partner is to move in together for a little bit. And you guys live together. Maybe he puts his shoes somewhere, puts his socks somewhere you don't like.
Exactly.
He leaves the toilet seat up.
You don't
don't
know.
like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You have to first of all see what he's like before you take that plunge. Or else there's going to be a lot more divorces out here on the streets.
I think some people, though, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think some people are just, we've invested 4 years in, like, they're just scared to start again. So it's like, well, he's already here, he's half decent, might as well. Or like, oh yeah, like, the guy is thinking, we've invested like 5 years.
Everybody is going to be half decent.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, some
is
people are
gonna be
they're
perfect.
just scared to start fresh. So I feel like sometimes it's the time they've invested that they don't want to throw away. So instead of starting fresh and breaking up, they just feel like, do you know what, I'm this years old now, or I'm 35 years old, or I'm this years old, or we've been together for 6-7 years. We may as well.
Okay, that's what I was saying before. If you've seen red flags, but you've said we may as well, and then the red flags get bigger, it's your own fault. Yeah. Like, for example, look at DJ Drogba. He was with his wife 11 years before they got married. I think it was 11 years. 11 years before they got married. And they've got 2 grown kids.
He was taking the piss. What waiting for 11 years?
He was taking his time to make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen.
No, that's okay.
That's what you do.
Nah, that's
it's
okay.
not. It's not a rush. It's not a rush.
I'm not saying rush, but you don't need 11 years to know if I'm the one or not. Let's just be honest.
Well,
clearly he did. And they're married.
A whole decade.
Yeah.
Do you know what can happen in a decade?
What
I can get
happen?
a degree.
Yeah.
Go and get a degree. Who's stopping you?
But you're together.
PhD,
Exactly.
Don't worry.
and
I'll
3
support
children.
you.
Yeah.
I'll support you.
Yeah.
They've got 2 grown.
And or I can find a new babes and get married whilst you're still trying to decide.
If you find a new babes, then it's up to you.
But 10 years,
but the thing is, the fact that she stuck it out for 11 years, shows to him as a man, this is a keeper.
This is the one.
Okay, I guess obviously that's
It's a ride or die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
In the words,
do you know what? To be fair, it's DJ Drogba, innit? Listen, I'm going where the money resides.
in the words of Back Row G, be patient. Baby, take time. I beg you, be patient.
Now, staying in Africa, Nigeria, to be exact, where popular actress Lillian Afegbai took to Instagram to share her thoughts on women paying their man's bills. The actress said she can never understand a woman paying a man's bills. She said perhaps if they were married and things went bad, she might step into to support it until he gets back up on his feet. And once he does, she's done. Now, she also said a man comfortable with a woman paying his bills is a vegetable.
Before I open my mouth, I'll let you take this one.
But if I speak...
Because we both know we're about to clash here, so before I open my mouth, let me let you take this
Because
one.
if I speak, they say I've spark.
Yeah.
So,
What are you thinking?
what am I thinking?
Just know all your potential future suitors are now watching. So anything you say
okay.
now.
Exactly.
I just know that my potential suitor doesn't want his base peeled because he got it. He's fine. He doesn't want someone else paying his bills. He doesn't want a wife paying his bills. Why?
not? What
Was it that she doesn't want to split bills or she doesn't want to pay all the bills for him?
She just feels that it's not right for a woman to be the one leading with the bill paying and stuff like that. If you're earning more than me, where to get things are a little bit rough. You know what I mean? I'm looking to you just the way you look to me.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a new day. It's a new day, and
she's thinking about it so much.
She's picking her words carefully. Yeah. She knows I'm loading. She knows that I'm ready.
No, okay, do you know what? I'm definitely for supporting your partner when they're down, 100%. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
We're in this together. You know, richer for poorer, sicker, in good health, whatever. So definitely support your people, man. Because at the end of the day, like, you're my husband now. We're family. We're in this together forever. It's me and you, B. So teamwork. Number two, I kind of understand what you're saying about not wanting to be the main provider of the home. And in all honesty, most women don't want to be the main provider of the home. I feel like even if it's like a 60-40 divide in terms of like splitting the bills, however you do it, you still want to feel like you are being taken care of by your man. Yeah, you still want to feel like...
That's what she said.
Yeah, like she wants to feel like she's being taken care of. And I feel like men also want to feel like I'm taking care of my woman and not my woman taking care of me. Because otherwise, if I'm the one being the main provider of the home, I'm the man of the house now. I'm making the decisions.
Rod, over to you.
Yeah, I don't believe that all men see it the same way as that. Like me, for example, maybe it's because of the house that I grew up in, but I don't believe that if my wife makes more than me and if she pays 60% of the bills, I don't think that makes me less of a man.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely not.
At the end of the day, we are together for love, not because you make X amount or because I make X amount.
Yeah.
If it so happens that you make X amount, it's a coincidence. Like, for example, in my family, my mom, both my parents are hardworking. They both are very well off. They're doing well for themselves. But my mom is an entrepreneur. She has about 3 or 4 businesses
that she's running
alongside working full time. So naturally, her paycheck at the end of the month is bigger than my dad's. My dad has no issue with that because they're happy together. They're comfortable together. They know that they're building an empire together. All the investments my mom makes is their investment. It's not hers. It's theirs. All the stuff they do back home, they do it together. Even if it's a case of like right now we're working on a new project. And most of that money will come from my dad if possible. But if not, my mom will help. There's no issue. Like, money isn't a deciding factor of who says what.
But when a woman thinks the way she thought, though, or the way she thinks, don't you see that as a problem?
It's a red flag for me. It's a major red flag for me because that's the kind of...
In Nigeria.
Okay.
That's the kind of woman, in my opinion, that's going to try and make me feel as though I have to now start doing all kinds of things to please you, things that might put me in trouble. That's a red flag for me. Red flag. The biggest. Do you know what? Yeah. I don't know if I've said this before. I've got a rule in it. If I go on a date with a girl, right, I'm always going to pay. 100%. That first date, I am going to pay. But I like to see you reach for your purse. I like to do the
fake reach.
little. I like it. Do you know why? Because it says to me that you're not going to come and rinse me out. I'm more like. But if I see you sitting there, you pick up your phone, you're sipping your drink, you're watching me when I pay the bill. Best believe you never see me again. I'll pay, but you'll not see me again. Because I know exactly what's going to happen there.
It doesn't surprise me that it's coming from someone who is in Africa because I feel like that mentality is still there that the man provides, especially where women are still earning less than most men in Africa already. But then obviously in the Western world, a lot of households are female driven in terms of like women take care of not majority of the
but
a
lot of the responsibilities.
A lot of the responsibilities lay on the women. A lot of us came from single women households and like single mom households. So we've seen women like boss up and take care of the house. Like it's very normal for us. So I think my generation of women, like it's not something new to think, like I'll absolutely split the bill. Yeah, I can definitely step up like where needs be. I can also be the provider where needs be. And if I earn more, it just happens that I earn more. And again, statistics show that, more women are starting to out-earn men. So
you love your statistics, innit?
Yes.
I do.
You love your statistics.
Remember,
you just sit at home reading statistics all day.
Her podcast is dreams and money. So she's got to check the statistics. Now, over to Tanzania, where the shock news were announced this week on Wednesday, the 17th of March, that her president and newly re-elected John Magufuli sadly passed away. After rumors of contacting COVID-19 were reported by the opposition, the locally popular president had not been seen in the public in 2 weeks, and rumors of his death had been swirling around before the announcement was made by his former vice president and now newly appointed president, Samia Suluhu Hassan. The president had been controversial due to how he dealt with COVID-19 in the last year, choosing to keep the country open and allowing congregating and life within Tanzania to carry on after asking citizens to pray for the eradication of the virus before declaring Tanzania COVID-free in June 2020. Now, all that said, the president was hugely popular amongst the creative industry as he was a huge supporter of the country's musical ambassadors, such as Diamond Platnumz and Harmonize, both of whom were on his campaign trail performing for thousands of fans last year. Shock news out of Tanzania. I was completely stunned. I came out of the studio. I saw a friend of mine, shout out to Mimi Fawaz. She posted a picture. And yeah, it sent shockwaves around the world. This was a man that was very defiant last year when COVID-19 started. The way he handled Tanzania, he had made jokes such as, don't worry, he will keep Tanzania open so the rest of the world can come and buy food from Tanzania. Because obviously the economic recession, because of the fact that countries couldn't do business. And now to hear rumors of perhaps there might have been COVID-19 involved or he had passed away or stuff like that. What are your thoughts on this news?
As you said, it's very sad news to hear, especially when it's very rare that you have a president that the people actually like in Africa. It's very rare that you have a president that's actually supported by the people. It's very rare you have a president who gets re-elected without having done some dodgy business and having done some kind of dictatorship back in Africa. So the fact that it's hit everybody in this way just shows the stature or the level they held him at.
And the way he embraced the creative industry.
Again, that's very rare. You have an African president who embraces the creative industry because most of them think there's like...
Waste of time.
So it's very rare you have that. So that's an extreme loss to Tanzania and to Africa, especially East Africa, because now that I understand why that he was so supportive to the creative industry, it makes sense why Tanzania's industry is so big now.
Yes, the music industry.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, Tanzania wasn't really on the scene when it came to Afrobeat.
Facts.
Now they're the top 3 players.
Facts.
So now it makes a lot of sense, and I just hope that whoever takes power,
the vice president has become the first female president of Tanzania.
Oh, that's
yes.
I said it. The women are coming. I said it. The women are coming.
And they just got re-elected in December. So she's basically going to take over the full 5-year term in Tanzania. And that's one positive news that have come out of that loss in the sense that, now we have a woman president in Tanzania that has an opportunity to also stamp her authority, not only in Tanzania and Africa, but around the world. To see a female face running a country that's emerging in Africa.
Really?
Absolutely. I think I love that part, and I hope that she obviously continues the legacy that he's already have been starting to build and just continue what he was doing, particularly with entertainment industry and the tourism, and just set a good example for the young girls that are watching her, not just in Tanzania but across Africa. I think she'll be an example of what's achievable. I mean, obviously she wasn't the elected president. However, I think if she does such an amazing job, she will then open the minds of the rest of Africa, which is still very much a patriarchal system, and open their minds to female leaders, and not just as presidents, but in terms of like in managerial positions, in CEO positions, in director positions. So I think it's such a great opportunity for her to set that example, do a smashing job, and show that women do better than men.
Come on.
Period.
Talk that talk.
And that
I wouldn't say better, but women are as good as men.
But then, do you know what? Let's look at the example of the way, is it Australia or was it?
Yes.
The way
New
that
Zealand,
she,
I think it's New Zealand.
The way she was
She
able
shut off
to,
the country. She held it down.
See the way she handled COVID,
Gangster.
and their country is still flourishing. They're
Perfect.
out here in, they're doing concerts, all of these things like. In the way, look at us now. We're still locked down.
But that's because
March
of Uncle Boris.
2021.
That's because of Uncle Boris.
And he's a what? He's a man.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I just hope that she'll do such an amazing job and just kind of like open the gates for the women to follow her.
You have to be careful with the table. The producer will kill you. I'm surprised he hasn't said anything. Now, over to the USA, where this week Drake broke Billboard records by having top 3 singles in the country, being his latest project featuring Lil Baby and Rick Ross. While celebrating the occasion, he hosted a dinner where he invited rap superstar Bow Wow and close friends. Now, later that day, he shared a video explaining why he celebrated with Bow Wow, saying, Bow Wow inspired him to do music, and without Bow Wow, there will be no Drake. Have we given Bow Wow his flowers enough yet? Or does he get the respect he deserves?
You know what? Bow Wow's career, I feel like it was a weird one because at one point he was the man. Like he was everybody was listening. I was listening to him. Bow Wow was the man.
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong, he didn't do nothing wrong. He just kind of just disappeared.
No,
Yeah.
I think it took a break sometime, but he also switched lanes. If you remember, Bow Wow became the host of 106 and Park.
Yeah.
And that just went
That took
off.
off. Yeah. But then that also just dipped as well. Like
Because they stopped
Yeah,
the show, and
And-
he was also an actor as
exactly, yeah. As a child actor.
well. Yeah.
And then he was acting in his older
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think Bow Wow is I wouldn't say he may not necessarily be as respected as he feels he should be or Drake feels he should be, but I wouldn't say anyone looks down on him in any kind of negative way.
Not like, not in the shade room comments are
Shade
crazy.
Room shade room be shading him.
Shade
The
room
comments in the shade room be shading him.
Yeah.
I feel like he's definitely not respected and has not been given the flowers he deserves.
Mm.
I feel like like at some point Bow Wow was like, he was kind of our Justin Bieber at some point.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
was the
like,
prototype.
He was the boy that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
He was literally a poster boy. I remember like going
Yep.
to my cousin's house and she had like a massive poster of him. And you know, like you would rip off, you know, like when you still had to rip
Newspapers,
off
the
the
magazines.
magazine with the lyrics. he was that guy. So I
Yeah.
feel like we definitely do need to kind of put respect on his name. Like he also opened doors for who, like Soulja Boy and
Yeah.
Omarion and all of
Yeah,
them. So
yeah.
he did bits for
And
the
with
industry.
Drake giving him this special shout out,
Mm.
that changes perception, doesn't it? Because Drake
Absolutely,
has been the
yeah.
guy for a decade.
Yeah.
And for him to still say, yo, without you,
Yeah.
there wouldn't be me. A lot of the fans will be thinking, okay, maybe we haven't looked at Bow Wow
Yeah.
the way we should have looked at him in a while. And one of the reasons why that news was very important to me is also within the African culture, the African popular culture, the Afrobeats culture. Most of the time, a lot of people don't like giving credit to those that came before them, that laid the groundwork, that inspired them. That's, you know, the moments like this, how important is it to just give the special shout outs to the people that just made you want to do what you're doing?
I feel like what Drake done in showing the respect to Bow Wow, that is what makes Drake Drake. That is
Yes.
why Drake is where he is. Is that humility? Is that respect? That's
And knowing when to show it.
exactly. That is why Drake is at the top, and that is what's going to continue to keep him at the top because of the way he respects everything and everyone around him, and it's genuine. He's not doing it for the sake of clout X, Y. He did
Yeah.
not need to go and shout out Bow Wow.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel fake.
Do you know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
it just felt
It's
genuine.
Even if you look at what he did with Top Boy in the UK, he did not need to do that.
Yep,
It's
I said
genuine
that.
love.
Yep.
So I feel like this genuine love that he shows is what's gonna, even when he stops making music, Drake will still be at the top because everyone genuinely loves him. Yeah.
And his choices are perfect, isn't
Yeah.
it? No, that was great to see. Now, over to the UK, where it seems the never-ending talk of a super fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury might finally be happening. It was reported this week that both fighters have agreed to a 2-fight deal and are just on the hunt for venues where the super fights will be taking place. Now, if this fight finally happens, this will be the biggest fight in years, as both guys are at the top of the game right now and are 1 and 2 atop the heavyweight rankings. Fury, Anthony Joshua, this is the fight everybody wants to see. It will be a multi-billion-dollar fight.
I think I've read they're getting like 100 million each. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I saw in the news that one Asian billionaire has rang Eddie Hearn saying, yo, I want to host the fight in Asia and I'm ready to pay whatever it takes to make it happen. Saudi Arabia are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, Las Vegas wants to say, yo, this is the home of boxing.
Yeah.
Wembley Stadium, that's not, you know, so the offers are crazy. Do you think, even though they've said that the fight might finally be happening, they're still looking for venues, I'm still kind of skeptical that something might just fall through at the end of it. Like this fight might not happen. Do you think we're going to get this huge fight happening? And if it does happen, who are you rooting for?
If with those numbers, absolutely.
happen.
With those numbers and the amount of money
Yeah.
that each person will make and the organizers will make, absolutely. They will come hell and high water. They will make it happen.
Yeah.
Even if it means waiting until 2022 when we are hopefully completely free. Or even 2023. You know, like if it means waiting that long to make it happen, they'll absolutely make it happen. And of course, I'm rooting for my baby.
Oh, yeah.
Joshua.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be like, girl, oh my God, punch him. So yeah, I'll definitely be. I'll be watching and I'll be rooting for Joshua for sure.
Yeah, Rod.
I think same with you. I think the fight will happen. 100 million each. Like if I was one of them and I knew that something was gonna happen negative to stop me getting 100 million, whatever that is, I am removing it.
And the fact that
I'm
they've even
collecting the
cited
bag.
they've signed a 2-fight deal, which means if one loses the first one, you have the option of a rematch. So it's not like you beat me and then you run away.
Yeah. No, I feel like the fight will definitely happen. It's too much money to lose. It's too much money. Like you said, like the fighters, the organizers, the promoters, everything. Everyone has too much to gain from this, literally. So it's going to happen. And I want to see this fight because it's been talked about for how long. In terms of who I'm rooting for.
Okay, who are you rooting for? But what is your mind telling you? So your heart is different from your mind. Your heart is who you're rooting for, but your mind is, more kind of judging it based on his merits, the talents that are on show. So talk to me about what's going on there.
My heart is rooting for Anthony Joshua because at the end of the day, he's African. So I'm going to support my African brother.
Definitely.
My head is saying Tyson Fury.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't lie because that brother's a big guy, you know.
Yeah,
he's a big guy. That guy's a big guy.
He's a big guy.
And also, I don't know, I feel like I sometimes I like to root for the underdog, and Tyson Fury, in my opinion, is the underdog.
Because of his last couple of years story.
Despite him
coming
being big,
back from being overweight, dealing with the mental health problems that he had, going to the United States of America, defeating Deontay Wilder in the first fight, which they claimed was a draw, and then knocking him out in the second fight.
Yeah.
That was a bigger challenge for any boxer. One of the hardest things to do in the boxing world is to travel to the champion's home and take the belt from him. Yeah. You literally have to beat him because you have to understand that the judges are subconsciously usually in favor of the champion.
Of the favorite.
Yeah. So for him to have gone out there and done what he did, it really warmed him into people's hearts and overcoming the battles of the drug addiction and then the mental health problems.
If you know his story, then it's amazing.
It's a real fighter story that people genuinely fall in love with.
Yeah, and that's why I think I want Tyson Fury to win. It's giving me Rocky Balboa vibes.
Remember, let me even tell you how far Tyson Fury went. His gum shield had the Nigerian flag in it when he was fighting Deontay Wilder in America. The gum shield he had on was the Nigerian flag. Oh, wow. So he was also playing in Anthony Joshua's pool. Like, I'm Nigerian. Your Nigerian fans are going to love me too. Yeah. And he's that type of guy. So it makes this fight interesting. Obviously, Anthony Joshua is the African favorite. We're rooting for him. We believe he's got the talent. He's strong. The knockouts there. But Tyson Fury is a different kettle of fish.
Honestly.
That the heavyweight boxing probably haven't seen in decades.
That's what I'm thinking.
His style of boxing for someone that big is completely just out. That's what you would expect from people in the lower weights where he's jabbing and moving and he talks the talk, he's slick. But heavyweight punchers really rely
on the big
hits. But he does the different things. So it's going to be a very, very interesting fight. And hopefully, let's get it on.
It's two different dynamics as well because, like I said, Anthony Joshua is in great shape. He looks in great shape.
Ripped.
So he could potentially be so fast in that ring. At the same time, Tyson Fury is so bloody big. Yeah. It just takes one hit and it's game over.
And to see what he did to Deontay Wilder.
I can't wait. I'm not really a big boxing fan.
But those are the fights.
Those are the kind of fights that's
the reason why the boxing community also wants to make those type of fights because they know those are the fights that transcend outside of the boxing world and brings in audiences
fans.
like
Yeah.
Norma, like
Yeah.
Rods, people that would not usually sit down on
Wouldn't
a
even
Friday
care.
night to watch some two sweaty guys
Just
kick-
throwing
yeah.
punches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now to a brand new segment where we suggest a few things to the audience to watch, listen, buy, stream, whatever it is. Mine is right off the back, Wonderland by Tenny. The album, brand new album's out now. Go check it out. Tenny Entertainer from Nigeria, incredible singer. The album is a surprise for me because obviously we've heard a lot of singles that Tenny has had, Billionaire, Scamania, Joe. The list goes on, But this album is well crafted and it has everything in it. It has the usual Tenny that you'd expect, the playful lyrics and stuff like that. But it also has Tenny's vocals on different type of sounds that you probably expect from other guys like a Wizkid or whatever. So in terms of the A&R of this project, I've got to give them a thumbs up. The rollout has been fantastic with the virtual reality thing, the Wonderland. That's also good. You need creativity to gain people's attention.
Yeah.
And the further people are willing to go with their creative juices, the more likely you are to hit your mark in getting the audiences, getting the attention, and hitting the sales that you want to sell. So for me, Tenny, the album Wonderland, obviously Justin Bieber dropped a brand new album that features Oluwabana. Yeah. So for me, that's another great moment. 10 years ago, I was interviewing Wizkid for the first time. I was calling him the African Justin Bieber based on the impact that Justin Bieber had made on the world.
Yeah.
Fast forward 10 years' time, and the same Justin Bieber is collaborating with the Burnaboys of this world and tapping into Afrobeats. And that, again, is another successful notch for me and another moment that I'm just saying, yo, we here. Do you understand?
We've arrived.
So, over to you guys.
Do you want to go first?
I was going to say Justin Bieber too.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to be doing with the rest of my day.
Yeah.
Listening to Justin Bieber
Yeah.
and chilling.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say the first one for me would be Ruger, Jonesy's new signing. So
Ruger's, he's super talented.
amazing new
Super
artist.
talented.
He was discovered during the pandemic. He dropped a project called
The
Pandemic, and that project from start to finish,
Fire.
one of the first times I've listened to an EP
Fire.
from start to finish on multiple occasions.
Fire.
Every song sonically sounds
Fire.
amazing. And what I like about him is that he epitomizes that new wave of
Versatility.
Afrobeats artists coming through.
Yeah.
That new Ote type of sound.
Yeah,
Like,
versatility.
the sound that I grew up on 10 years ago is so different now. Like,
Yeah.
And what we're hearing from the likes of Rema and Ruger and
Thames
Afrobeat,
and all these guys.
This is the new wave of Afrobeats sound that we're gonna
Joe Boy,
become accustomed to.
Fireboy.
CK,
Yeah,
all of
CK.
these sounds. These are the new. So number one, 100% Ruger.
Yeah.
You're my guy. And number two, I have to say it has to go down to Ice Prince and Oxlade
Colo.
with Colo.
I want to spend on my last.
Like,
that's my record.
I feel like for me,
Talk to me, man.
there's three hook gods in Africa. Three. There's Joe Boy.
Yep.
Everything he touches is gold.
It's dope.
There's CK. I
That's
call him
another
Africa's
good one.
Beethoven.
That's good.
And there's Oxlade.
Oxlade.
Oxlade's
That's the voice. The voice of 2021 for me.
Oxlade's voice is so distinctive and yet so unique.
Smooth.
It's so like. Did you hear what I said? His voice, you can pick it out from anywhere,
Yeah.
but you've never heard it before. Like Oxlade's voice is amazing,
Incredible.
And on top of that, the way Ice Prince rode the beat, they complemented each other perfectly.
Ice is back. For me, I think Ice Prince is back. Coming off with the single with Techno was fantastic, but stepping up with the single with Oxlade, Colo, I think is incredible. It shows that Ice has got his mojo back, and he's, this song, fingers crossed, to do the bits that it's supposed to do. Oxlade, incredible singer.
I feel like it will as well, because one thing that I noticed, me being me, eagle-eyed
Yeah.
bod, when I got the mail out through, obviously you
Yeah.
sent it to me, but
Yeah.
it also got sent to me by somebody from 300.
Yeah.
And 300 is a big
Yeah. Three,
platform to be behind.
Yeah.
So if they're the ones that are helping to push Ice Prince
Yep.
as well,
Yep.
then that single is gonna go far, and hopefully we're gonna get more of that. But yes, Ice Prince and Oxlade with Colo. that tune is non-stop at the moment in my ears.
Fine.
And a cheeky little extra one is not out yet, but my little brother Jay Crims is dropping a new video.
Jay Crims. Yeah,
he's dropping a new video. We shot it last week. The video should be out hopefully next week, so I'll keep you guys.
Definitely,
in touch with
that's a
Just
nice
reminded
vocalist,
me,
man. Yeah.
Who I'm obsessed with, Omalay. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed, and that is it.
that.
And that is all.
Of course.
I feel like
You know what?
90% of his fan base is women.
That's why I said, of course.
No, do you know, I only discovered him, 2020? What
Yeah,
year?
he came
2021.
out in 2020.
Yeah, and yes.
He came out in 2020 and he became the fastest growing pop artist anywhere in the world in the last 5 years.
So when Outside opens, make sure you're touring in the UK.
Do you know what else as well?
Oh, my leg.
Don't do that.
Listen, I've got her number.
Just remember, bucket, phone, leave it. You get it when you're going back.
Wow. Next thing you know, you're going to see me on the shade room.
She'll hold the video for 5 years. When it wins the Grammy, she'll post it.
Just wanted to say. Oh my God.
You see, are you calling on Wale already?
Are you
calling on Wale?
So, I just wanted to say congratulations to Omalay for his Grammy.
for that one time I saw him in London.
For the one time I was at your show. Congrats.
Anyway, we finish in the States where music legend Anita Baker has asked her fans not to buy or stream her music. The singer said in a tweet that she has now outlived all her contracts and her masters should now be returned to her after 30 years, including the rights to her name. Well, the singer intends to fight for all in court and further broke down how much streaming is to artists and her thoughts on how low the payments are, including calling the music industry a temple of thieves. This is not a new story.
No. I feel like we hear this every week.
But to hear it from an icon such as Anita Baker, doesn't it make it even scarier?
Do you know, it doesn't surprise me actually.
Because
Only
back
because,
then.
Yeah, because back then, they probably weren't thinking so much about, the
DSPs,
contracts
The
and
contracts
the
and-
split sheets and all of these things. But yeah, I think it just serves as a lesson to all new artists. Like, I feel like in 2021, going forward, we shouldn't have these issues anymore of, people thieving. And the fact that someone can have the rights to your name is so wild to me.
Do you know what?
And I just feel like we should definitely be taking accountability as artists and not just putting it on your manager and not just putting it on your homeboy that's your manager that's currently handling your affairs, but just making sure that your business is handled. If it means you read it, if it means employing 2 lawyers to read it and explain everything to you, make sure you do that, because it's not acceptable, man.
The thing is, I feel like it's easy for us in the diaspora to have that mentality. Like me, for example, I got offered a management deal by somebody. What we had agreed verbally was not what was in the contract. On top of that, he wanted to claim my name and my voice. Because of what I do, anything with my name and my voice on it, he owns the rights to that. I read it. I said, "This is some kind of BS." I didn't sign it. But that's because I have the luxury of turning down deals because I still have.
Because you're not hungry.
Exactly. I have money coming from other directions.
Yeah.
That's not my
Full
bread
time,
and
yes.
butter. Do you know what I mean? There's people back home in Africa who are talented and they're struggling to get to
want that
studio.
exposure.
They can't get studio time. They can't even get food some days. Someone will come and say, "Listen, I'll offer you this contract." They're not gonna read it. They're gonna sign it because to them that's the big bet they've been waiting for. So I can see why people fall for these things. But yeah, it's important to read your contracts. But at the same time, I feel like this is something we're never gonna ever truly eradicate.
But what is the way? How I understand what you're talking about. Young talented artists looking desperate to get on, and then they get offers such as we'll own your rights, we'll do this, we'll do that, but we'll give you studio time, we'll promote your music, you become a superstar, all of that stuff. And in some cases, people do, they do make those things happen for an unknown artist. However, they've signed away. How do we get these young, desperate talents out of situations like this?
You-
Because it's different. It's difficult to.
Obviously, there's good and bad people in everything that we do. There's bad people in the music industry. It's up to those good people to go and discover these talents. You know what I mean, like it's unfortunate if a talented person is being managed or X, Y, and Z by somebody with a bad intentions.
Yes.
But as I said, this is something that we can't fully eradicate. The best we can do is try to
More
do
information.
damage control, do more education, teach them the rights and wrongs, teach them what to look out for, that kind of stuff. But ultimately, if you're in a desperate situation, someone offers you a way out, you're gonna
Most
take
of the
you're gonna
time,
take
take
that,
it.
which is the sad thing. I'd say moving forward, the likes of, I don't know, Chocolate City, Maven, those guys who are amazing at what they
Established.
do, established, and these are good people that do the right thing. Those are the people that have the ability to go and help these artists out. And also, that being said, most of the time when labels sign people, they're always the whole, we own your masters.
They
but
usually do
eventually
it, yeah.
your contract runs out. So before your contract runs out, make sure you've learned enough about the industry to go and do
That's
what
what Dark
the
Child
likes
said.
of Wizkid and Zlatan and Nava are doing, and start your own label.
That's what.
Make sure you learn enough when you're there.
That the next deal you get, make sure your terms now are in your own favor.
Exactly. Just learn as much as possible, so you don't even need them. You don't necessarily need them. That's what Miss V did when she left Links.
And then you partner with people that can work for you, but you always make sure the next contract is to your own favor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's normal in business that the record labels will offer you an initial contract that favors them.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
That's normal business. So
They will
yeah,
always do what's in their favor, never in your
Absolutely.
favor. As much as they want to support you, and more time they need you, right? Like you're the customer, you're the one that's gonna be bringing in the money, bringing in what they need. Therefore, like you have to use that to your advantage. Like somehow try and use that to your advantage, knowing that they're asking for you, they need you to bring in that money. Therefore, so okay, let me make sure that this works for me and also works for the label too. So how you work that out, whether that's, like I said, like lawyers, making sure that you've got the right team that are behind you and people that are really for you, man. Because I'm sure like in the music industry, sometimes you don't know anybody. All you know
Facts.
is music. All you know is whether that's singing, producing, whatever it is. All you know is that you don't really know people. So I think it's just making sure you surround yourself with good people and just with good intentions.
I feel
which
like-
is difficult, I'm sure. But,
As I said, I feel like I strongly believe that we have that mentality because we are the diaspora. We can
Slightly
afford
comfortable.
we can afford to say no.
it's like
It's coming from a place of comfort and-
exactly.
and,
I've been back home. I've seen
Desperation.
exactly, and I know not firsthand, but I know what it can lead to. I know what it may cause you to do because you just want. Sometimes it's not even to be famous. It's just to be able to provide for you and your family.
Yeah.
They don't want to be famous. They just want to be able to provide for you and your family. And they're struggling. And if someone comes and offers you, I can understand why they fall for these things. It's unfortunate, but it's
it is what
yeah.
it is.
hard.
And
It's so
and
hard.
I don't even blame the labels sometimes either, because if you
They're
like
looking
I've been saying, business is business. It's called the music business.
They're
Business
looking
is
to
business.
get one over you anyhow.
Yeah. So
that's
as
how
a
it is.
businessman, I don't blame the labels
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're
That's
doing
the
what
business.
any business would do.
Yeah.
They will
Yeah.
own your soul if they can. If
Yeah.
they can
I mean,
get that and sell it
some
to
of them
you, they
do.
will do
With,
that,
with this
honestly.
360 contracts, some of them will literally own your.
They own
Essentially,
everything.
what this guy offered me was a
Forever.
360 contract. I
Yeah.
said, well, I'm not even
Yeah.
an artist. What are you doing?
I think, do you know what it reminds me of? Like for instance, like the Lil Wayne baby situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a relationship like that, where you are so close to that person, if they can do you dirty, then just trust no
Anybody
one.
can do you dirty.
Anyone can do you
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, this ends this edition of Adesope Live, the official Afrobeats podcast. Catch us same place, same time, every single place. You already know where the details are. Instagram, whatever it is. Norma, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for
Dreams
having me.
and Money podcast.
Yes, Dreams and Money podcast.
Exactly. And of course, my brother Rod Rants, Westside Radio, DJ all around, shutting it down, representing Cameroon. And of course, it's Shops You Do. Until next time, from all three of us, it's peace. And we're out.
Right.